Hello everybody, my name is Myles Nooks. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm a master's student here at North Carolina A&T State University, pursuing a degree in industrial systems engineering. As far as the blue and gold marching machine, I serve as the head drum major, and this is my 5th year in the blue and gold marching machine. Just woke up about 9:30 this morning. Got a couple errands I got to run this morning. Then I'm gonna head to campus, do some work, and y'all just gonna follow me throughout the day. Gotta go take my dog out right now, so that's what I'm about to go do. I appreciate y'all on this little day in the life journey with me.
So why'd you choose A&T?
I guess it would go back into high school. My band director, Mr. Roosevelt Pratt Jr., he was a graduate of North Carolina A&T State University. So just having him around, he used to always talk about his stories at A&T, how he had a good time and how he was in the band and everything that he's done and stuff like that. That was one of the reasons. Number twofold on that, number one producer of African-American engineers. I felt like that was important for me, coming out of high school, being around people that has the same aspirations and goals as I do and want to be great with that. So I know if I was in that environment, I came from black schools all my life, from elementary school to middle school, high school. So I'm comfortable being around people that look like me. So I know that me specifically going to a PWI or another institution like that, I think it would have the same effect on me. But I knew if I came to A&T, I'd feel like home. I'd be able to make an impact, stuff like that. So we'll get my outfit together right now. I'm watching some First Take. First Take is like my favorite show. I watch it like faithfully almost every morning. So now I'm dressed in the car, about to head to the bank first, then the cleaners. They handle my little 2 errands for the day, then I'll come back, chill for a little bit, go out to eat with my LBs, and then go to class after that. So here we go.
Okay. So being that you are engineering major and everything that goes on with the engineering program and new building, the ERIC, and all that stuff like that, what are some of the benefits of the engineering program here in North Carolina A&T?
I would say definitely those peers around you learning the same type of material that look like you. I know that's something that's very important and prevalent. I will also say just the resources. Sometimes you can get lost in everything that's going on at A&T, but knowing that you have stuff that's dedicated to students, engineering students, just like the new ERIC building, there's a lot of different opportunities, whether it be organizations and club, and the NSB, National Society of Black Engineers, or even like different honor societies. Like I'm in the Honor Society Alpha Pi Mu, which is a national industrial systems engineering society. So you can meet some people from those different organizations that may have similar career interests as you, and then you can kind of try to like navigate how you might go about things, and you can learn stuff from them. So it's kind of like, I would say that's one of the real biggest benefits. You got people that's walked your path. They might haven't done it the exactly same way that you did it, but they also made mistakes and stuff like that, so you can learn from them so you don't make the same mistakes. And that's what all about being at A&T. Like everybody trying to make sure everybody grows. So I'm trying to make sure that you don't make the same mistake I make, so you can be ahead, and then maybe you could pass that on to the next person so they don't make the same mistake. So something that's very important to me is my high school back home, E. Smith High School in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Normally Friday night lights, of course they had their games on Fridays, but actually today is the drum major's first game, band's first game. My best friend, drum major with me last year, Randolph Williams, he's assistant band director at my high school this year. So today's their first game, so I'm actually finna call them and just give them some words of encouragement, just for me. I feel like it's important for us. I'm proud of my brother, Randolph, for actually like going back and reaching back and actually being a mentor to those kids now, and just showing him the ways of how we came up in the band. So we're paying it full circle. Now, so I'm about to call them right now and see. Hopefully they answer the phone. Get them on here. Their first game, 3 drum majors at E.E. Smith. Shout out to my band director, Mr. Roosevelt Pratt Jr.
All right, so you speak very highly of your band director, Mr. Roosevelt Pratt, and it seems like leaders are built at E.E. Smith. You can go around the country, any student that goes to any program from E.E. Smith ends up being a section leader, drum major. It's like drum major capital of HBCU world, period. So how can you say that your high school experience has prepared you for where you are right now?
That's good. Well, the drum major factory, as they like to call it, at E.E. Smith, I feel like, man, it's Mr. Pratt. Like, if you can ask anybody, they'll say the same thing. Just the way he approaches band, the way he approaches life, you can learn a lot. Me not having my father really in my life like that, I seen how he moved when it came to issues with the band. I seen how he moved in relation to his life, with his kids, with his wife. Like, I appreciated stuff like that because I didn't know how to navigate that part of my life. I had never seen that. But to see a guy like that, you know what I'm saying, he come to work every day, he's on time, he loves his wife, he loves his kids. He shows that openly for everybody to see. So it's not like it's hidden or anything like that. That's genuine. So people can latch on to that. So I'm more able to trust what Mr. Pratt has to say because I seen everything he says. That's what he's about. That's what he does. So I think that's like the biggest center and what brings it all whole for all the leaders there because they see Mr. Pratt walking the walk and talking the talk. Now going back to band and how that relates with just being a leader and stuff like that, we run a really hard, tight ship at E.E. Smith. And you know it's a standard of excellence when you join the band program and to actually uphold that standard once you see alumni and people that marched in the band before us come back and see their program and speak so highly of their program. That's why when we have different events like Community Day, that's when all our alumni members come back and they play with the band. They do, you know what I'm saying, it's a big old cookout on the football field. He has all the old band members and alumni members, if they were drum majors, if they were leaders in the band, if they were just prominent roles at our school, they come and they speak to the whole band. And they impact that wisdom, and it's just like passed down knowledge. So I got stuff from guys all the way back earlier than me, which made me realize that I gotta uphold this E.E. Smith name. So when I came to A&T, and like me and my brother Randolph and all the other instrumentalists that came from E.E. Smith to A&T on that fall 2018 year, we realized that like we had something to uphold, and we had people that's looking at us back in high school that need that guidance. They need to be shown that, yeah, you can come to this band program, lead at a high level, coming from the program we came from, and the experience that I had there is similar. Is band. That's what I tell them is all the time is band. So it's nothing that you didn't learn back in high school that can't transfer to here. And you can some stuff may not, but sometimes you can just tweak it a little bit and it can work for this band too. So, you know what I'm saying? I like I say all the time, I appreciate Mr. Pratt because he knows how to run a band program. And you can ask anybody that came through the program, they can tell you like that's how we know what band is. We know how a band needs to run, and that's why we just go out and do it. So yeah. So currently I'm working on some discussing boards for like my first introductory assignments in class. I might have 3 classes a semester with the graduate curriculum. They look pretty simple so far, but I know they're going to get very challenging. So I'm just trying to stay on top of my schoolwork as early and as fast as possible. so I can allow for time with band and everything else.
So I know we talk about school, band, and everything else, but you've done a little bit of everything with the BGMM. Like you've been in all your ensembles, percussion ensemble, wind ensemble. You were section leader with Cold Steel. Then you did Kappa Kappa Psi. Then you were a drum major, right? And so now you've added Alpha Phi Alpha and a graduate student. Like, how on earth do you balance everything?
I would say I get that from my mom a lot. She's a hard worker. She works 4 jobs back home at Fayetteville, you know what I'm saying? She works at the school I went to high school, E.E. Smith. She works in the afternoon. After she get off of work from there, she go to the community college and works there. She works in my church, like on the weekends, being the treasurer for the church, and she does a lot of stuff like that. So I always saw her working as hard as she possibly can to make sure that I got to where I needed to be. And I know that, you know what I'm saying, being in these different organizations, getting these different leadership experiences, I know that's going to benefit me in the long run. And just like her working hard to benefit us as me as her son, providing for me and making sure all my needs are met. I know that if I show that to my kids one day, and they seen how hard I worked and how I was involved in all these different things, they won't think anything is impossible for them. So I appreciate her for just, you know what I'm saying, laying that foundation and that groundwork, because I realize now, the older I get, that finding people that work hard is very hard, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, she's a trooper, so that's why I respect her, so yeah. So it's currently 3:10, about to head to my first class of the day. I'm in machine systems. I'm in near hall. Class at 3:30, so I'm trying to get here on time.
So this band, like the Blue and Gold Marching Machine here at North Carolina A&T State University, does a lot.
Right.
For this season alone, we're going from August to Thanksgiving with no breaks. An event every weekend, like a performance every weekend, something every weekend. How do you motivate your band as a head drum major to keep going?
And it gets tough on me. So I just got out my 3:30 class, Human Machine Systems. I'm about to go to the crib right quick, probably get a little snack in, practice at 5:30. Get dressed, all that. It's currently 4:56, about to take out the trash, had to practice. Had transformed, as you can see, to my little practice attire. I just really used that 30, 45 minutes after I got out of class just to refocus my mind. Leave my personal at the door, you know what I'm saying, and put on my drum major drill sergeant hat for the rest of the evening. So I'll see y'all in 2 minutes at the ground. Because you can ask anybody, I take this very seriously. I take band very seriously. But just motivating them, keeping the main goal the main thing. And it's a lot more distractions and things that can come, and it's just hard. It's easier for everybody's focus to get drawn off to different things, whether that be I got X amount of assignments to do and I'm not getting the amount of time to do those assignments, or I got a personal issue going on back home. It's 5:29 right now. However, at 5:25, I had a bunch of people just walking in at that given time. That can't happen no more. The same rules still apply. Freshman, you're 15 minutes early. Old heads, you 10 minutes early. If you got a class conflict or something like that, that should already been communicated ahead of time. So I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about the people that's just, you choosing when to come on time. And that's not with the policy. Does everybody understand the policy? Yes, sir. All right, so don't let that happen again. That's it. and it's just getting in my head. It's messing up my whole day. Me just reminding them that, you know what I'm saying. I tell them all the time. I come in the band room. I leave my personal bag right there on the ramp, whether it be imaginary or real. I leave it right there, and I keep it there. And then when I come in here, I pick up my business bag, right, which did the ramp too, and I walk in like nothing happened. And then when it's time for Dr. Rose to tell me to go home, I pick up my personal bag, and then I continue to do what I got to do with that. I know it's a lot. I know we are a very eventful program and stuff like that, but I feel like that's why I joined it. That's why I joined the BGMM, because I wanted to do all those performances that I seen. I seen guys from Fayetteville, whether it be like Kenji or Joey or Vince. I used to see those guys when I came back to parades and stuff like that, and they had on the windsuit jackets from A&T, and I used to be like, yeah, man, I want to be up there, no matter how it takes. If I gotta sacrifice some nights, if I gotta sleep late some nights, like that's what I gotta do. That's what I wanted to be with this program. So just keeping the main thing, and not trying to listen to the outside noise, and just do your job and play your role. That's what I try to preach to the band.
So as the old man of the band
Yep.
and veteran drum major, how is it working with the new cast of all rookie drum majors?
Man, it's it's difficult. It's difficult.
That was going back. That's even like the concept of no two drum majors should be near each other at a given time for more than like 10 seconds, 15 seconds. That's what my band director say, 15 seconds. Y'all shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, that's too close. And in that instance, y'all were too close, because y'all was in the same room basically doing the same stuff. You know what I'm saying? Y'all contributing in the music way, but you're not really contributing in that way, because number one, that's Miss Rashonda's time. So that's her time to fix the band. So it's like, you can help, but you that's not your primary goal right there. Just try to find something else to do. But like I was saying before, I was out with the Jamar. I came back inside. I worked with the band for a little bit. I went to the back to the cage. I helped them for a little bit. So that's what makes it feel like, you know what I'm saying, I'm moving around. I'm touching everybody but without having to touch them, just because I'm sensing and I'm feeling what is going on in the building. That's why I walk in the morning, not in the mornings, but at the beginning of practice, and get a feel of how everybody feeling or what they might need for the day. I talked to Dr. Ruff. He was like, I'm tired. So I'm like, I know it's either probably something with the show, either it's the music or it's the props, because he had already told me about the props being the issue.
Coming from last year, I was with my brother. Like, I know Randolph probably like half of my entire life. So it's everything nothing has to be said between us. We already know. I can give him a look, and he know what type of time I'm on. Yeah, he can say something, I know what type of time he on. So not having that now is like tricky, because even with myself, I have to review how I approach and how I speak to them, or how I want them to have that hidden chemistry like what I had with Randolph, but that's not gonna come off gate. I gotta build that, because just like me and Randolph's relationship was built over years, which made us so effective, I had to build a relationship with them so we can be just as effective in a smaller amount of time. So it's been challenging in that aspect. I love them guys though. I feel like they have potential to be very, very great drum majors for the future. I know even too, like, I can be demanding as a leader, and I want certain things to be done a certain way too. And I can get on them, and it may seem like, dang, Myles always getting on me about something. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I am. That's how I view band. And even going back, it's E. Smith. That's how we view band. You're supposed to be working your hardest all the time. And when it comes down to situations where it's time to lead, you shouldn't be looking off to where's the leadership gonna come from. I step up. That's where I lead, and I let the band know that you can come to me and you can trust me and my leadership, that I'm not going to lead you astray. So I want them to have that same approach and effect on the band too. And that was part of the reason why I did actually come back for that 5th year, because I felt like me and Randolph, we laid a foundation for how a band is supposed to be run from a drum major's perspective. How working with staff, working with students on both sides, and getting the job done on both ends. So if I can better establish that type of sense of normalcy with being a drum major and being that guy that has a relationship with Dr. Ruff, I have a good relationship with him, and as well as the students I lead too. So it's both ends. So I wanted them to see that another year, whether that even be the freshmen that's in the band now, I know they see what I do as a leader, and they can learn from that. So why not come back again and show them, let's make it hit home one more time. So that was my whole perspective with that. But I know them guys are learning a lot from me, and I know I'm very demanding on them, but that's just because I want the best out of them. So.
What do you want your legacy to be as a member of the Blue and Gold Marching Machine?
Man, I just want everybody to know that I was loyal to the program. Whenever Dr. Ruff called me, I was there. Whenever he needed something out of me, no question, I'm gonna make it done. So he can know that he can count on me. So maybe that one day, years from now, if they have somebody else that just on the same type of time I am, you remind me of Myles, man, or something like that, or just like the way you act, it just remind me of something. And maybe it might not even be band staff that's here now. Maybe that can hit home with somebody, and just like show them that this is more than just like coming here, coming to practice and doing the performances and stuff like that. Like it's a family thing with that. It's building relationships. It's being that leader. And I want my legacy to be that Myles was there. Myles was loyal to the program. There's not nothing that I asked him to do that he wouldn't do for the program. And that's what it's all for. It's for the program. It's not for me. It's for the program. So that's the bigger picture. That's how I see it.